All right, y'all. We back. We back. I'm sorry. Listen, we're gonna have to reset this whole thing. Today, well, first of all, welcome to another rookie reset. And you may be saying, what the heck is a rookie reset? Well, guys, it would be an easy because I could not manage my classroom. And quite frankly, I could not figure out this whole teaching thing. So what we do here on the Rookie Reset is provide you with practical tools, tips, and strategies because oftentimes new teachers quit too soon because they are not getting the support they need. And so that's what we hope to do here. If your principal is like, well, how do I keep it happen? Because oftentimes I think in education, listen, I'm a new teacher. Listen, it's too. We're here every Tuesday. You know, if our tech is working right between 5:15 and 5:45, but we here. So today we are going to talk about, yes, I wish list. I know you tried to get all your supplies, but baby, please don't forget about this. Let y'all know out of time because she be getting me together, y'all. She be getting me together. But so she was talking about this above the line, below the line. Let me make sure I got my supply list together. Let me make sure I got, my lesson plan. Let me make sure I surface that sometimes impact that our identity, different things like that. That are like, I like to call them like the human things, relationships, stuff like that. Because, just tell me what I need to do to solve the problem. Like just like when I play basketball, I dribble up and down the floor. I want to work on my dribbling. I go to the gym. I work on the tactics. I get better. But relational pieces, it's a little bit more complex consistently. So it's a constant, we constantly in the gym on that thing. But so want to talk about today as we think of the culture and relationships in your classroom. We talked a little bit about this last week. We said, I thought I knew my content. I thought I knew how to teach the people, but it wasn't a lot of teaching happening because I could not connect with my students. I didn't take the time to understand who they were. And I wasn't able to consider like, what is it to be a better teacher? I often say that teaching, the greatest gift it gave me was compassion because I did not understand. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how do I do it, Fitz? How do I establish this heart? It's not operating properly. We don't feel at our best, but also once it stops, that's it. And I believe the same is true about culture and relationships because it's kind of like soil for, am I getting the right amount of water? So same thing we think about culture and relationships. It is the oxygen for learning to take place. So I want to share with you 5 ways to help you establish this school year. I know I saw in the group, they were like, what should I be doing this in? Establish culture and relationships. If you don't get anything, culture, relationships, strong classroom management is going to set the conditions for learning to take place because y'all, I don't say it's the judge. I ain't do a whole lot of teaching my first year because I was screaming and yelling it. Now, a few years ago, I was in my new role. They had a training and they were talking. If it is, drop it in the comments what the Pygmalion effect is. But the Pygmalion, short it is, you may think your thoughts are secret, but they're not because they show in your actions. So do it. Like we can say it all day. I said it, oh my gosh, I believe the kids could do it, but my actions did not reflect that, y'all. Because 25% of students, they were proficient because I didn't believe they can do it. Students will rise to the bar that you will set. And I'm going to show you a prime example for that. So there's a story of students that perform extremely well, another set of students that did not perform as well. And they put them all in the same class, which is inequitable, just tell me this is a long time. Anyways, but they tell that somehow the administration mixes up the students that perform well, but they really didn't, and vice versa. And so they get to the end of the year, who do you think had better results? The class where the students did not perform well the previous year. And so they go to the teacher, they're like, listen, when one way didn't work, I found another one because I knew you told me, you said they could do it. And that's the power of beliefs. When you believe in something, you phase in solutions to make it happen. Like I think about when I was at Kirby. But anyways, like we would get our data at the beginning of the year and they were like, listen, this student has a 99.7% chance of failing this class. Like they're not going, because we knew our kids could do it, we would find unique ways to find solutions to make it happen. And then which leads to the second one, E, is examining our biases. Now, something that Dr. Precious said in an interview was, she said, we never leave any situation empty-handed. I grew up, my teacher didn't let us use a calculator. If we use the calculator, then it's almost like you consider weak. You should be able to add, subtract, multiply, divide. You should be able to do that. And when I became a teacher, my students needed the calculator. Are you teaching algebra? Are you teaching arithmetic? Let them use a calculator. And you know what happened? Them students start performing. They start doing algebra. But before, algebra wasn't happening because I didn't believe that kid point I taught to the students who I thought could do it. I mean, all kinds of things, inequitable as hell. Like, but you really have to be willing to examine those, because it's not everybody has biases, but it's just being willing to explore and examine those parts of yourself. Could do it because they needed calculators. Learning wasn't taking place. And that was on me. I took full responsibility for that. And the A is, I don't know what it is, but I don't trust you. I don't know what it is, don't trust you. And most of the time when we think that, that's because it's book cultural response to teaching the brain. What she says is that if students do not feel safe with us, they will not learn. Well, Fitz, how do I create safety? In the book, they say, be yourself. Be authentic. They want to know that you are genuine. They want to know that you're real, like you're real, you do. But I'm out here, you know, I'm being real. Like I tried, my first year, I was like, I tried to be hard. I tried to be somebody I wasn't. I'm a bit of, you know, I'm kind of a dorky jock is how I like to think of myself. I'm very clumsy, goofy, all of that. And when I brought up, now, I will tell you this, that when I first started teaching, I didn't really know myself. And I think it's a process we go on, a journey we go on for the rest of our lives. But I really had no sense of self. I just knew I was that in my classroom. So this is not about you being like anyone else. This is about you literally being you. A lot of times I can see new teachers, we look around, looking at a post today, and she was like, man, I'm looking around all these people and I'm just so intimidated. Like, I don't think I can do this. You may try things out, you know, from that you observe from other people, but essentially it's about you making it your own. That's really what allows you the space to connect us and create safety, because you are being genuine. And the R is my first year. I came in, I thought this student should care about my math problems like I cared about my math problems. You know, I really did. I thought my students, they just said, y'all need to care about this. Like, the folks didn't want no scholarship. I wanted a scholarship. And so I was trying to push my agenda, you know. And so what I learned, students, they may not care about my little math problems, but you know what they did care? I'm gonna show you how real this thing is. I want you to think about that one argument that you and your boo consistently have at the crib. Think about it. What's that one you like? Man, we still argue about this thing, and our house is cleaning. It's because I'm too neat for her. You know what I'm saying? She said, you know, if things are cleaner, you have more time to work on the things you want to, because you don't have to clean up. Like everything has a place, so you don't have to spend time doing that. She's right. I said, that's a fact. That's what got me to clean more. So we still work in progress, but she spoke to what really mattered to me. And so that's what you want to connect to y'all. And then the last one is T. Be trustworthy and consistent. And let me ask, broken since I was 5 years old. You know, I've been telling this little story, and it's like, it's 30, you know, it's a whole bunch of years. It's like 37 years, 36 years. I still, the milkshake machine is still broken, because sometimes it works and sometimes my pleasure. And you trust them so much that you don't even check the bag. Like, you like, I know this thing tight. I know this order gonna be right. That's what we want to think about. My classroom was McDonald's my first year, because I was inconsistent as hell. I didn't trust that every day was going to be the same. And so, especially when you think about trauma and some of the experiences that people have, Katrina, the silent assassin, one of the coldest mathletes out here, but she was on my podcast. Like, if I know every day when I go in Miss Fitzgerald class, we doing X, Y, and Z, boom, 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 it creates safety, because she was saying that a lot of times when people experience trauma, it's so inconsistent and so, like, you know, it can be like, you know, just kind of all over. what we want to think about is creating that consistency, doing the same thing every day. If you said that's what it is with the cell phone, that's what it is, you know. And the thing is, when you get so consistent, students will call you out is at the front table every day. And when they weren't there, they were like, Miss Fitzgerald, you slipping. I don't want to get it from the board. I need my paper. And so I made adjustments because it was so consistent. Same thing every single day. You already know what to expect. Be trustworthy and consistent with your expectations. Now, you obviously are not going to be able to fix everything your first year, but maybe just identify 3 things. Like my 3 things were polite talk. That was mine. I'm going to be consistent with those expectations. Your entry routine, doing assistant with these, because consistency builds trust, right? And so just to recap, just to close it out, high positive expectation, examining our bias, being authentic, relating to, knowing, and connecting with our audience, and being trustworthy and this is my 2nd year teaching. And so this was right after that crazy first year. And I was like, man, oh my gosh, how am I going to respond to this? I mean, he said, I asked him, I said, well, Charles, a lot. He did skip quite a bit.